All right. What's up, Degen Yinzers? Week 4, is that right? Is that right, guys?
Week
Sir,
four, baby. Or this
Wow.
is fourth episode, baby. Here we
Here
are.
we go. This is exciting. Well, we have a lot to cover this week. We have the Jags game we missed. We got to cover that. We got to cover that crazy game against the Titans on Thursday night. So I think we just get right into it. Dan, you want to lead us off?
Yes. So obviously we had the Jaguars game, and it went terribly. People could argue that it was the refs. People could argue that we just played bad. End of the day, our offense still isn't moving it. But what are you gonna do? We bounced back versus Tennessee. The thing is we did win, but I feel like everyone is kind of the morale's a little bit low now. You know, after the Rams game, we're like, okay, maybe we're actually gonna be a playoff team. And after the Jags game, we're like, okay, we suck. And so after the Titans game, it's like we still suck, but we did win. So now it's just like we're kind of figuring out if we're ready for to make that jump. And I feel like most people think that we aren't ready. What do you guys think? What about you, Drew?
for me, it's just like the offense. Once the offense gets going, I feel like we can beat any team. Offense sucks though, so
The thing is, what does offense need to get better though?
I think
I think
for
the
defense,
offense needs to be more efficient in the first 3 quarters, right? So you look at the QBR of just their quarterback. I think he has a I think 72 QBR rating in the first 3 quarters, and he has a 106 rating in the fourth quarter. So that's just a wild jump. If you're going to be like that in any quarter, I'm glad he chooses the fourth, but we need to get some consistency to start off games.
We did have an opening drive touchdown though. That we haven't seen that in
that was
years.
hype.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right about that. I think there was a stat saying that was like out of our last 33 drives, we've only done that 3 times. So we'll take that when we can get it. But it was kind of fool's gold. Right after that, they didn't do anything until the
Yeah.
fourth quarter. So yeah, that's something that's encouraging. But at the same time, it just doesn't seem like it's going to be consistent this year. There's definitely a lot of changes they're going to have to make.
What do you Drew? What do you think about Matt Canada being on the field?
I feel like I don't know.
The thing
Yeah,
is
as a player, I feel like you'd want to be up, like for the coach, because he has a better eye.
hmm
Like on the
I
sideline, he has
mean,
a better feel of the game, but it's like not like he's making our offense good. It's like our
yeah,
guys
I
are
mean,
stepping
I
up.
don't really know how to relate to a football player doing that, but I thought it was cool. I feel like Tomlin was like, "Yo, get your ass down here in the field and start talking to the guys." I don't know. I
It's
mean, I
like
I
guess
mean,
Thursday night as well.
I
Go ahead,
I mean
Drew.
what they were saying in all the major media networks about the Canada thing on the field, they were like almost making fun of it because it was like such a big deal in Steelers media and like how it's like, oh my God, Canada's on the field, but like at the end of the day, like who cares? Like it's not like, yeah, like it's cool, like you can do a couple extra like slap fives to slap Najee's ass after he scores a touchdown, like it's not going to make a difference at the end of the day. I do like him down there, but like I just don't know why that was such a big emphasis in the Pittsburgh
Well, because
Post
he's never done
Gazette
it
and
in his
everything.
entire career. He hasn't done it once ever,
No, no,
even in the
no, totally.
pros.
It's a change. But Tomlin even said in his post game in his presser even yesterday that there's a lot of moves that they make every week that no one can see because like but that one is one that there's just like one of the moves they made that week, and so it's not as significant as everyone's making it out to be.
All right. So where do you
Hopefully he
think
does
the
it
team's
this
at
week
right now,
though.
Pete? What was that,
Um,
Drew?
Hopefully he does it this week, and then we'll see like if it's actually worth being down on the field.
no, I
Yeah, I
agree.
feel
I agree.
like he hasn't even like I feel like he's not used to being down there, so he's gonna coach even worse. I don't know.
Like you do
I
have
feel
like
like he
such
needs
a better view up top. Like you can see
yeah.
everything.
So I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, I feel like I actually don't mind him being down there. And to confirm, Tomlin did say he was going to be there this week. So that's good. We'll see how that works against the Packers. But I guess it just the big scheme of things, it's not going to be what makes or breaks us this season. I think there's got to be a little more than just him physically being on the field.
Yeah,
But Dan,
Pete,
to answer your
yeah,
question,
give
where
me give me a rundown of where you think we are right now as a team and how we're looking.
Yeah, so we were when we were on this podcast going into it, we were 4-2, and so there's been two games. The Jacksonville
Mhm.
game was tough to watch. I feel like in both of these games, the officiating's been definitely against us. I mean, you saw Deontay Johnson in one of his post game pressers after the Jags game. He even got fined like 15K because he was just going off on the refs. It seems like the refs, they also called like six personal fouls against our defense on Thursday night, like something crazy like that. I think they called like three on one drive. So those were like kind of highlights just on like the officials, but in just terms of our play, I felt like we've actually been like pretty solid. I mean, like we gave our chance, we gave ourselves a good chance to win on Thursday night, and we did so, even though we always have to make it closer than it has to be. Um,
Oh,
and then and then Sunday night, and then Sunday against the Jags. I mean, we didn't play great, but it just nothing was going our way up in the beginning, those first couple quarters, and we can't once we give up a lead, we can't come back. So there's nothing that
he-
we can expect from that.
here's a question: is our defense even good?
I don't know. I mean,
No,
Drew, what do you think? Rating wise, it doesn't even say so.
DBs are a little shaky besides JPJ, but
Yeah.
without Minka's a big
JPJ
factor.
be holding too, though. Obviously, yeah,
Yeah,
losing
yeah.
Minka has
Without
been
Minka,
horrible.
but I
Yeah.
think he
And
should come back this week, so
oh,
could be
really?
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, a long week. They haven't ruled him out yet, so it's
Yeah.
nice
And
that we
so
had
and so
that
it was
10
nice.
days.
It did help with Derrick Henry having Hayward back in there. We did lose Cole Holcomb, my
oh
guy, this
fuck, yeah,
gruesome injury,
that was bad.
foul. But yeah, we give up a lot of chunk yards, but we do step up in the clutch. It's almost like I said, like I still stick to this that we need a big turnover every game just to keep our offense in the game.
At least like
So
one defensive touchdown.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I agree. And if we're going to keep relying on our defense to make these heroic plays, I mean, we're not going to do anything besides be one and done in the playoffs. So we need to come up with a new formula to win games. I also just wanted to
like
bounce around the league for a second. And did anyone see that CJ Stroud game? That was nuts. I
your
mean,
boy, dude.
I saw a stat just because we're talking about the Steeler offense. He threw more he threw more touchdowns in that game than Pickett's thrown all season. I think the same amount, five. So that's kind of scary numbers. I'm not gonna lie. And also with zero interceptions, he has 14 touchdowns and one interception on the season. He's a rookie. It's like, geez, Louise, if we're just gonna do a comparison, it's tough to watch. You know, it's like seeing all these other quarterbacks thrive in this league. I just don't think Pickett quite has the eyeball test for me. I don't know. I mean, he does get it done at the fourth quarter, but do you guys think he has it in him to really make a leap in the
Dude,
years to
I
come, or what do you think?
I want to believe, but as the weeks go on, holy shit, he's
Yeah,
not bad. He's not or he's not good.
Here's
He's
the thing.
tough
Here's
yeah.
the
to
thing.
say, but fuck.
It's in the NFL. It's really easy to fall in love with the stat quarterback. All right, look at Lamar Jackson, incredible regular season quarterback. Doesn't get it done. Hasn't it has a history of not getting it done in the playoffs. I mean, there's a lot of guys who you say, "Wow, he's a great quarterback," but they don't have the wins. I mean, I think the most important thing is you got to win these games. And so
I
Kenny
mean,
Pickett,
I agree,
He's been winning
Dan.
games. We're 5-3.
Dan,
Isn't that Pickens been like
I
five
agree.
as of last year or some shit like that? He's like
He has
14
like
and
What's that?
five.
he has six game winning drives in his career, which is pretty nuts. Um, I'm pretty sure he
He's
has like
played like
I'm pretty sure he has like seven wins, dude. It's like what? Um, but no, he has more wins than that. But anyways,
Probably
on the Pickett topic, he's just not passing the eye test for me. And if you're gonna go with the Lamar Jackson,
what do you want to see from him that passes the eye test?
well, I know you said the stats. Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback, so his stats are gonna look totally different than a regular one. That was
Yeah,
kind
no,
of a tough
but the
example.
Ravens are a team that will blow teams out. Like they'll blow out the Lions, they'll blow out the Seahawks. But then the playoffs come and then they kind of slow down. So I'm just saying, like
I do agree with that. Yeah,
sometimes
it's
the hype teams, like look at Miami, like they're probably not going to
yeah.
make it in the playoffs either.
They
They're a
they
fun
can't
team to
be
watch.
Miami cannot beat any over 500 teams.
Yeah, they're fun to
Um,
watch, but they're not. They probably won't have a good playoff success. So I think if Kenny just keeps progressing, I think we have. I don't know if we have a chance in the playoffs, but I
yeah.
think he I think he's not as bad as you think.
Well,
You know what?
I gotta address the elephant in the room. Just talking about our playoff chances. Have you guys been keeping up with the records in our division?
Give us a
Every
rundown, Pete.
single
Give us a rundown.
every single week. So you got Ravens 7-2. You got the Steelers at 5-3 in the two spot because they have the tiebreaker against the Bengals, who
And
or no
Browns.
the Bengals and Browns. They have tiebreakers
Yeah,
on, but
2-0
they're
in the
all
division
five
is
and
pretty.
three.
It's pretty hype.
Yeah, so we have some games we're gonna have to go on the road. We're gonna have to play in Cleveland. We're gonna have to play in Cincinnati and host Cincinnati. We're gonna have to play in Baltimore. So people say our schedule is easy, but all of our division games is gonna be the deciding factor if we're gonna get in the playoffs or not.
That's why I feel like this week versus Green Bay at home is a massive game. Just just
Totally.
for
If we
just for
lose
winning.
this, just throw the season away.
You
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah, because we
The
play
thing is,
Bengals twice,
Yep.
Bengals
Ravens
twice.
twice. No, Ravens once.
We
Browns
always
once.
pull one out of our ass versus the Bengals. The Bengals do look really good though, but they always look good this time of the year. I mean,
Yep.
we play the Browns again. They'll probably beat us just
The
because we
Bengals, the
somehow
Bengals have
beat them
won.
last
The
week.
Bengals have won four straight, and Joe Cool is looking like ice right now. So,
Yeah, he does look good.
and also, none of these damn teams can do us any favors. Think that we have a favorable match with the Bills against the Bengals. I'm like, all right, we'll get one. No, like 49ers don't come through with us twice against the
I mean,
Browns
we do
and the
have some
Ravens.
we do have some good games. We have the Cardinals. Okay, let's go over the schedule real quick. I have it right in front of me. You guys tell me if it's a
Yep.
win or loss. Okay, Packers at Steelers, win or loss.
Win.
W.
Okay, so 6-3. Steelers at Browns,
L.
that's a loss. 6-4. Steelers at Bengals,
L.
L.
6-5. Cardinals at Steelers.
Dub.
Loki L.
No, that's a win. Seven and
Come on.
five.
No,
Pats
that's a
at
win.
Steelers. Pats at Steelers. That's a nice little two
Win.
games.
That's a dub.
Cardinals and then straight to Pats. So that's
Yeah.
8-5, right?
And
8-5.
Colts.
And then Steelers at Colts. That could be 9-5.
9-5. Yep.
We always beat the Colts somehow.
You're
Like
right.
every
You're
year, it's
right.
like
Nine
we
and five.
always beat the Colts. We could be 9-5.
Or
So like,
or
so like
I think
relax.
I think we win one of those divisional games and we lose the Colts. But regardless, we're at
Yeah.
9-5.
No, we always beat the Colts. Well, we might lose to the Patriots or something stupid. But the thing is 9-5 is a very big possibility. Then we have Bengals at home, at Seahawks, at Ravens. So it could be a tough finish.
That's a tough
But
finish.
We just can't
yeah,
play the Chiefs first round. If we play the Chiefs first round of the playoffs,
well they're gonna have
Yeah.
a bye.
then
Well, they're
I
gonna
feel
have a
like we can
bye.
beat any other team though.
And
We can
low
just
key,
keep it
like the
out.
AFC doesn't look as dominant this year. Like usually, it's
No.
like Mahomes. It's like Mahomes. Like the Chiefs are struggling. The Bills
This
are
isn't the
struggling.
best this is not the best Chiefs team at
The
all.
best team in the AFC, the Ravens, we've beaten. So I'm just saying, like I think we have more of a chance this year than any other year. So this game coming up, a huge game. Should we get into the game predictions?
Yeah, I think there's just one more point that I need to bring up if we're talking about our division and like the
Throw it in.
AFC situational standings. There's a lot of teams that are creeping up behind us that are gonna. A couple teams, one team, the Texans, they're 4-4. They have a game. They have an advantage on us because they beat us head to head. So we got to look out for
Yes.
them, and they're surging. Another team is the Chargers. They're out of the playoff picture right now, but they could always sneak up in. And also the Bills currently aren't in a playoff spot. So we're holding on for dear life right now. Like we got to win these football games if we want to get in. Like I know we're in right now, and we have been the whole season. And these hypothetical, like if it ended today, but we're in no way comfortable, and
Yeah, it
nobody
is pretty
is.
incredible that every team in our division is in the playoffs right now. If it ended right now,
Yeah. So it's
and
tight.
also
It's
the
tight.
Jets too. If they get Rodgers back, I don't know if you guys been following that.
Man,
It's
he's
how
not
that
I
gonna
happened.
think that would be
let us
crazy.
down.
There's no way. There's no way.
But they
I
need
feel like
him.
We'll
the.
see.
Zach
I mean,
Wilson is ass.
so should we? I mean, the Texans and the Colts. The Colts have a chance to. That Colts game is going to be big later in the year. Alrighty, so we play the Green Bay. What does Green Bay have that we're that you know of that like is good for us and bad for us that you guys know?
Yeah,
Offense.
so Green Bay has a really good run defense. I think they're giving up 3.4, only like 3.4 yards per carry, so they're pretty stout on that end. They have a decent secondary. Jair Alexander is pretty solid. They have a shutdown corner there, but their offense has been pretty stagnant. But they're coming off a good week. Jordan Love actually had above an 80 QBR last game for the first time in a while. He had a touchdown pass, no interceptions. Um, so they're like solid. There's no team to like take super lightly. I mean, I think they're better than what their record reflects, and I think they'll play us a good game. However, I think we actually, in this case, do have a better offense. For once in a matchup, I would take our offense over this one. And I think the emphasis in our offense this week is we gotta feed Pickens the fucking ball, and if we don't, we're gonna lose him. What do we think about that?
All right, first of all, that Pickens overreaction, I think that was overreaction. All that social media shit. Like,
Yeah, what part was overreaction? Just like, well, didn't Tomlin
are
act like it
deleting
was
all
nothing?
the photos?
Oh yeah, he was tripping.
What, the one where he unfollowed Kenny Pickett, Mike Tomlin, and the Steelers, deleted all of his photos, and then posted on his story, "Free me"? It's an overreaction? I don't think so. If you look at the history of our wide receivers and their meltdowns, what usually happens right after? Nothing good. So,
So
and then the fact that's happening already in year two, midway through the season, it's scaring me. The fact that I just bought this freaking jersey for $200. Um,
I will say there was a video on Twitter of Deontay's touchdown, right? And it's the first touchdown he's had in what, like 22 years or 22 games or something?
since
Not
the
since
beginning
Big
of
Ben
yeah,
was the
the year.
quarterback.
22 years would be wild.
I mean, it seems like that, to be
You'd
honest.
see a gray beard come out.
And so he scores. Everyone's hyped. I think like Jalen Warren then like is like jumping on him, like Allen
Yeah,
Robinson, and you
Mhm.
just see Pickett run out the field.
yeah,
Pickens. And so I mean, you just see that, and you can kind of just like you don't know for sure, but you kind of assume that's just a bad relationship going on right there. So a thing like that in the locker room isn't the best,
selfish. It's selfish.
but I think if we do find Pickens like just going a little bit, like get him his like 8 catches for like 120 yards, like I think he'll be right back in feeling good. You know,
Yeah, and
it's
usually
like
that'd be a lot to ask, but if you feed Pickens the ball 10 times, he will do that. Like he will do
yeah.
that every time. And we just need to
It's
figure out
like
how to do
feeding
it.
the big. It's like feeding the big early in basketball. Like just get the big some touches, make him
Get
feel
him feeling
happy,
good.
you know, and then the team will be better altogether. You know, he'll play some
Yeah,
defense.
like a grumpy DeAndre Ayton who like thinks he's way better than he is, and then what happens? He gets traded. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, yeah, we all know the talent he has, but yeah. So let's talk about the Packers more. What's up with Jordan Love? Is he the real deal? Is he ass? Is he getting unlucky? Is he have a bad team? What's up?
I don't think he's that good. I have him in fantasy. First couple of weeks were nice, but he also has no help, which will be good for us on Sunday since our TV's a
So
little
like,
shaky right now.
wasn't he supposed to be like the
The
best
wide
player ever?
receiver the wide receiver group is very mediocre. It's probably one of the worst in the league. So they do it very by committee. So there's no one wide receiver that we're gonna have to focus on this week, like a Devontae Adams or like someone that we really have to lock up on. It's really a committee type wide receiver group. So is it Jordan Love or is it the talent around him? I couldn't agree more that he doesn't have much talent.
I will say though that Aaron Jones has been injured a lot this year. This is kind of his third or fourth week back. He's due for a breakout game, so we got to watch out for him. You know, and AJ Dillon, that they split reps kind of, but I think Aaron Jones when he's healthy can really be an issue. So we got to watch out for that. So should we hop into the score predictions?
Let's do it, Dan.
Start it off, Drew. All right, start it off, Pete.
All right.
All right, hold on.
For my score prediction, I got to think about it. So we're playing the Packers, playing at home. I think I say this every week. I have a feeling. Why not? We got to feed Pickens the ball. I think Pickens has 2 touchdowns,
Oh, we're also
two
wearing
receiving.
those alternate jerseys.
The
We're
block
wearing
number.
the blocks. We're
Yeah.
wearing the blocks. This jersey. This guy gets 2 touchdowns for 68 yards. No crazy yardage, but gets two big
It's called the
touchdowns.
blocks.
Yeah,
The
they're
block
like the
number.
block numbers.
That's it.
We, I think Pickens gets 2 touchdowns. We really emphasize in feeding him. I think Pickett will throw for 2 touchdowns, both to George. I think we win the game 20 24 to 24 to 10. I don't think it's anything crazy.
There's no chance. There's no way we win by 14 points.
I think we do. I think
I
the
think it's more.
Packers. I think the Packers take. I think this is the first comfortable win we have this year. Like not that entertaining of a game because it's not that competitive, if you know what I mean. Type game. Um,
Like a
we
game
score.
at 10 a.m. where people just tune out.
Yeah,
Reds aren't going to
like it's
cover it
like yeah,
much.
like oh, it's like a footnote. Steelers beat Packers, win at 6-3. Well, that's a highlight, but it was the game now.
Yeah,
That's kind of
exactly.
my prediction. So I'm gonna guess 24-10. We get an easy dub, and we move on for the next week. That's how confident I am this week.
Got it. All
All
you,
right.
Drew.
Here's my prediction right here. I already have it placed. Can you see?
Oh
Right there.
wow.
That's my
Okay,
prediction.
that's a pretty hefty.
What was that, Drew? I didn't see
Is
it.
that
I was
calculus?
looking at something else.
No, that's a little bet slip.
What is it, Drew?
Steelers,
What you bet?
Steelers minus 3.5. Got them
What's
at
the
plus
over under,
100
Drew?
odds. Huh?
What's the over under?
The over under, I think it's like 36, something like that.
So low. That's one of the lowest ones I've seen all year.
But from the jump, this is gonna be an easy win. Like, change the channel. Don't have to worry about it.
Easy win from the
You're
jump. What have you guys seen that makes you think that?
I just think the Packers suck, to be
the
honest.
Packers' offense is not good, so our defense might score twice. But hopefully, like just Canada and pick it up. We get some quick.
I mean, I know they
scores.
suck, but they still have 3 wins. Keep in mind. Let's see.
3
They beat
wins.
the Bears. They beat the
The
Saints.
Bears, the
And
Saints.
they beat the Rams pretty easily. But the Rams had a backup
Well,
quarterback.
we're
They
better
are
than
pretty
we're
bad.
better than all those teams. We're
Yeah.
better than all those teams.
All right. So my prediction is okay. I think another ass game. Where we don't get a first down. I think we might even go down like early. Like we might not get a first down until like mid second quarter.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it sounds accurate.
and I say we're down like probably. I say at halftime it's like 6-3, right? And then we end up winning the game like 9-16. I'm
Oh
thinking
my
something like
god.
that, like 9-15, something
So
stupid,
15, we win 15-9.
or maybe 14-9, or maybe 17-9, something like that.
Yuck. But I can see
Yeah,
it, man.
just
I
a
can see it.
gross game. Just like we leave the game like I cannot believe I watched that fucking game, but like we have a win
What's
on
the
our
weather gonna
record.
be like on Sunday?
That's a good question. I'm actually not gonna be in Pittsburgh for this one, so I haven't really been inclined to check. So I can't answer that. I'm actually gonna be in California. So shout out Dan.
I
I'm gonna see
mean,
you on Friday.
hey, let's go, baby.
OD.
Oh, side
So
note,
yeah,
Boswell missed his first field goal of the year.
yeah. I'm glad that you mentioned that because what did I say 2 weeks ago on the podcast was, you
We
know what?
need him to miss a
I
hard
need
one.
him to miss like a garbage one. That's the one to miss it. And by the way, it was on a missed call. Thomas
Yep.
said, Dave, he has never seen any single lineup formation offsides on a kick thing. They literally negate 3 points from us to end that half. That's a huge
And we could
deal.
have used those points the entire game.
Oh, we could have used them all. So, that just still fires me up. I wish we would have done a podcast literally right after the Jacksonville game because I was irate at the officials. It was just
No,
terrible.
that
But
game was ridiculous. There was penalties left and right. I mean, there's penalties in the Rams game too. I mean, we're getting screwed over here.
what's kind of funny was I was actually at this new steakhouse, Del Frisco's, downtown Pittsburgh, and we were checking it out like Saturday. Like I just got back from New York and I was like really down bad, so like I had to get a nice steak place, whatever. And my waiter is like, "Hey man, like you guys going to the game?" Because we were all talking about the Steelers when he was come by. And he's like, "Well, yeah, my brother is a referee. He's reffing the game tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh, no way." And I even made a joke. I was like, "Well, hey, tell your brother not to choke it up for us. Like, we need some good calls." And it was the worst officiating job I've ever seen. Like I think like they need to get fined. Also, like I saw Thomas speaking to one of the women refs, and was like, they literally mouthed her. He said, "What the fuck is wrong with y'all this week?" Like something like crazy like that. So like Thomas was pissed, and it was like blatant too.
Yeah,
So
there's been some weird calls this year. I mean, I guess that happens every year, but it just seems like it's been more this year. But luckily, like they've came
totally.
in like games where we've kind of won, except for Jacksonville. But yeah,
Yeah,
you
they
know.
helped us a little bit for the Rams game. So it comes and goes. So it's part of the game. Just like weather is, you can't really control it, but it's always going to be a part of it. Yeah. So I guess to conclude the podcast, I guess we all have wins, all in different fashions. What's our worst case scenario? Quick scorecard. What we think that like if everything went wrong, like what's happening? What's happening? No, but what's your worst case scenario Sunday when you wake up?
Worst case, which I just hope this never happens. TJ goes down again.
Oh, I was thinking that too.
Oh my God! I just had a shiver down my spine.
Dude. And I have a nice future on him, so I need to get him for him to get 3 sacks.
What's your future? Just sack leader?
Defensive MVP and MVP of the league.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that I guess yeah, that would be. I think we can all agree that's the worst case scenario. I actually wouldn't even want to watch if he went down.
Yeah, the season would be over.
Yeah,
it would be over.
He's not even on the half season All Pro team right now, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's not in the lead for defensive MVP. I actually heard that Myles Garrett is in the lead right now, and apparently the Browns defense is rated top 10 in every important category.
And so is the Ravens, too, right?
Or first in every category. And I think the Ravens are second. So our division has some smash mouth defenses, and I mean, what's better? What could be better?
And we beat both those teams somehow.
Just smash mouth every week. But
because they play us and we ate no yards, so their stats.
Yeah. And one more stat that I'll end this with is the Steelers have been outgained all eight games this season, and they have a winning record. That's the first time that's ever been done. And out of 33 teams that have been outgained in their entire season, the only other team that was able to have an above 500 record was the Steelers last year out of those 34 teams. So that is nuts. That is
I think it's funny. I think it's funny how people say that stat and they're like, Tomlin is a genius.
Yeah. Oh my God. They freak out on Get Up. They're like, it's Tomlinism. That's what it is. Dude, I would trade 3 first-round picks to get Tomlin in my building. I'm like, what is going on? I mean, the standard.
Can we just get a first down?
The standard is the standard. It's not always pretty. Hey, we're not going to apologize for winning. So, I like it.
Did you see LeBron talking about Mike Tomlin?
I was about to say, how horny were you after that?
I was loving it. But, of course, it was, in the worst possible way. I saw Najee Harris, reply to that. It was like, oh, dude, I was so hyped to see, LeBron was saying, shit about us, and then I realized it was shade. I was like, yeah, I know. But I will say this. The Lakers are down currently right now to the Rockets by 24 points. So I got to catch the end of this game. But I think the Lakers are actually having a way worse season than the Steelers. So I don't think it was a fair comparison.
Pete, what do you think about, side note, what do you think about Wembanyama so far?
Yeah, Webby is unbelievable. Absolute unicorn. I'm freaking out every single time I turn on my TV.
I feel like he's not playing that well.
Tonight, he sucked. It's funny that you said that because against New York, he was not very good. I think he's finishing up right now. But I've been very impressed. I mean, go look at it. I mean, his 5th game of the season, dropping 38 points on Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. 10 points in the last 12 in crunch time. I mean,
is there anything about being too big, too long?
In
for Wemby.
Well, I just think he's definitely injury prone. At that point, anyway, yeah. I think there's a history of people. I think there's a history of people who are 7'5" and above, and 85% had career-ending injuries in the NBA. So, I mean,
we'll see. But also, I bet you 100% of those guys couldn't do a fucking split and couldn't touch their toes, do all these crazy yoga things. This guy's an alien, a freak. I think he's gonna last. I think he's gonna be the face of the NBA. I think he might be the best player in the NBA by age 21. He's only 19. We'll wrap it up with that.
All right.
I also think
appreciate you guys. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. We'll do a week 5. Let's do it. Let's do it right after the game next week, so we have authentic reaction. What do you think about that? Maybe get CK on the pod. Maybe get CK on the pod.
Maybe CK will show up. Maybe we'll get Chef Jeff out here. Maybe
we'll get him.
Jersey Jerry out here.
Yeah. All right. We're signing out. See ya.
That is it, y'all. We will see you.